Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Brunson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. And you tuned into another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. Before we get into the nonsense, man, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Lost myself there real quick because I forgot what I was about
to say. Hey, but you ain't never said, I hope y'all have a wonderful day.
Oh, man. My fault, y'all. Make sure you go follow us on all socials, man. On Instagram and Twitter at ViewerNonPod. On Facebook, VA Pod Watch Group. On YouTube at Viewers Anonymous. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And last but not least, sign up on Patreon at patreon.com/Viewers Anonymous. Make sure you are listening to us on Spotify. Make sure you hit that follow button. And that's all I got. What's up with you, bro?
Can't call it, man. Feeling good. Glad to be in the lab. We got it coming out a couple of days late, but you know what I'm saying? It's all good. Taking in some new content, man. Got this. I'm excited to do the next one that we got coming up. You haven't watched it yet, but I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
It might be something. Be something. So okay. I'm excited to see how that's gonna unfold. But how about you, man? How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm feeling great, man. I'm kind of sad, man, because I was trying to go see Captain America this weekend, and unfortunately, at all of the movie theaters around me, all of the seats that I want are sold out. And it's all bad. So Friday I checked it. Saturday I checked it, and then today I checked it, and then it was all bad. Then the crazy part is, we went from I tried to do the 3D was out of there. Then I tried to do the XD, that was out of there. Then I tried to do the regular joints, and that was out of there. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have to wait till Monday.
You know, I was very curious on how this movie was going to be perceived. You know what I mean? Like, not trying to be funny or nothing, but it's like, you know, we got Chris Evans, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, handsome white guy playing Captain America. And it's like he passed the torch down, you know what I'm saying, to Anthony Mackie. And it's like, all right, like you ain't Captain America, man. You Falcon. You know what I mean? So it's just like I was wondering how this was gonna do. I mean, from all the trailers, it looked good, even though you got, you know what I'm saying, like a 70-something-year-old man turning into a big-ass Red Hulk is hilarious. But I was interested to see how this was gonna be received, man.
Yeah, I am too. I've already been hearing bad things about it. So we'll see how that end up playing out. I gotta see it for myself. Usually when people get to talking, you know what I'm saying, bad about something, it don't usually be that bad. It don't meet their expectations. So they just instantly start saying it's trash. But nah, I got to go check it out myself and see what they're talking about. I am excited, though, to see the Red Hulk. I'm super excited about that. Everything else is really just, I guess it is, you know, kind of what it is.
Understandable. Are you still like, I know you said you were excited to see this, but like when it comes to the Marvel releases, though, like, are you still like as excited as you was like, I don't know, like 5 years ago?
Oh yeah.
See, I'm not. Like, it's kind of.
I'm excited because of I know what can possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? As far as at first when we was getting them, I was more so just excited that we were getting new Marvel movies. And then after everything had kind of ended with the Infinity Stone saga, going back and looking at everything that they did, bro, like that shit was totally unexpected. So you know what I'm saying, knowing what they can do, and then knowing what we'll probably be getting in the future with all of the news that's breaking and everything. Like, because what I try to do is I try to hold off on looking at certain at certain articles and tweets and all that other stuff. I try not to do all that because it kind of spoils it for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, if this turns into the Young Avengers, or you know what I'm saying, like if something in this turns into the Young Avengers, or it turns around, you know, with Fantastic Four coming out, you know what I'm saying, we get a live action X-Men, or you know, we might get a live action Silver Surfer, like all kind of shit, man. It's so much that they can do with Marvel, bro. I'm just super excited, man.
Okay. I was just curious. Curious.
So today we are covering a Apple TV original. I believe it was released in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, starring Brad Pitt, George Clooney. The movie is called Wolves, and it is about two men who happen to be fixers, and they run across one another in a attempt to help out a senator. And no, she's not a senator. She's a what is she? A district attorney?
I think so. Something somewhere.
I think she's like a district attorney or something, like, or mayor or something like that. Whatever she is, she's a local politician. So they're helping her out because there's an incident that happened in a hotel room, and basically, come to find out, they may have been set up. So on the initial, you know what I'm saying, on the initial watch, because I watched it 1.5 times. So
Okay.
on the initial watch, the beginning of it is pretty weird, because it comes in, you just see this lady, you see this dude on the floor, you know what I'm saying, dead in his drawers, and you know what I'm saying, she get to screaming and all this other stuff, and then in comes George Clooney, and you know what I'm saying, George Clooney, he real cool, laid back dude, you know what I'm saying, he setting shit up right. You come in there and then you get to fix the shit, and then boom, in come Brad Pitt. Ain't no time between this shit for real. So like, it's as soon as George Clooney get on the screen, you got about a good 5-10 minutes before Brad Pitt comes in, and then after that, the whole movie is just based on their interaction with one another. So I did like that though. You know what I'm saying? Seeing the older George Clooney, seeing the older Brad Pitt. Side note, hey, Brad Pitt is that dude, bro. Brad Pitt is that dude. I think that he might go down as could possibly be like the greatest to ever do this.
Ooh, that's I wasn't expecting that.
Hey, think about this, right? Mr. and Mrs. Smith, fire. He also played in, what was the last joint he did? The Bullet Train was fire. You know what I'm saying? He did a great job in that. He did a great job in this. He was also in the Interview with a Vampire. That was fire. Like, bro, if you go down his catalog is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Fight Club
bangers.
You know, if you into baseball, you know, Moneyball, if you into that type shit, you know, he did Seven. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, look, Brad Pitt definitely got some joints. I like the comedic Brad Pitt, like
absolutely,
because he's funny even when he's not trying to be funny sometimes. And like, it was a lot of that in this movie where like, cause I was listening to, I think it might've been Joe Nim, where they were saying, get Brad Pitt and George Clooney out of my life or something like that. And I was like, I thought they bounced well off of each other.
Very
Me
well.
personally, I thought the comedic genius in it was really good. Like you got two competitive dudes who feel very confident in the job that they do, you know what I'm saying, being fixers.
Mhm.
And you know what I'm saying, they come across each other for, you know what I'm saying, two different people, which I thought it was funny the way that it even started in the first place, because it's like, you know, this woman, she, you know, she gets her phone, she calls this guy, say the number disconnected, dude call right back. You know what I'm saying? Telling her that he's coming, got a secret knock, all this shit. He comes. And then, like you mentioned, 5 minutes later, while he's like setting up to do his job,
Mhm.
in comes this other dude. Come to find out, he works for the hotel. And it's like, now there's a camera in the room. That's against HIPAA law. You can't have, no, I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how exclusive your hotel is. Like, you can't be spying on, especially someone that's as high up as Margaret was, which was funny that she never even had an issue with, you know what I'm saying, her being filmed or whatever. And so you got these two guys that are going back and forth. They got their techniques, and I thought it was funny, just like how, you know, George Clooney would be doing something but not wanting to do it in front of him because he wouldn't want him to see some of his techniques, and then he didn't want him to see some of his techniques. And like, so it's like this whole thing of like going back at each other, which is hilarious. But I think that, all right, so this is what I wanted to ask you, because look, there's a whole bunch of just secret shit going on, in whether it's in a government, whether it's in Hollywood, any of this shit. So, you know, I'm big on Ray Donovan. You know what I'm saying? I know watch Ray Donovan all I think 7 seasons in the movie twice. I know watch this like all 7 seasons 2 times. So I'm watching this thing about, you know what I'm saying, this dude that's a Hollywood fixer basically. Do you think this type of shit really exists?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I don't know if you remember, it used to be a show on, was it NBC? Maybe it wasn't NBC, but it was a show called, I believe it was Spin City. And it had I think it had Michael J. Fox and what's that lady's name? Hold on.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
We never heard of Spin City? It had Michael J. Fox, it had Charlie Sheen, and it had Heather Locklear and Richard Kind in it. And basically it was about a mayor. And he had, you know what I'm saying, just like this team who would basically, like anytime something would happen, their job was to basically like spin the narrative of, you know what I'm saying, like what's going on. So like say if like they had a picture of the mayor out with some lady, but he married or whatever, then they'll find a way to make it like the lady's sister, and then he's out with his sister-in-law because she's, you know what I'm saying, she's coming back from, she's coming in on vacation to wherever, you know what I'm saying, like that type of stuff. So I look at it like, if you got people like that out there, you know what I'm saying, who could basically take a story and before it even get to everything, they basically spinning it around and all that other stuff before the rumors get started. I know for sure it's niggas out there that's cleaning up bodies that don't nobody know about.
No, I mean, no, we did a movie, and the crazy thing is, the dude's name was Wolf. Remember? Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
His name was Wolf, and he would come, you know, he would clean this shit up. Which I think with all of the shit that's going on and how much people got to lose, I don't think it's far-fetched either that there are these secret people who are just meant to come out here, they clean shit up. Like, I'm pretty sure there's bodies that have disappeared. People don't know what happened to them. Like, now there are so many things where either people getting in good with junkyards or those all those one things. Those things. I be seeing those videos where like people be throwing like all these items in like this compactor thing, and
Yeah.
it'll like, what I'm saying, make it all like turn into pieces and shit.
Yeah, they be having them at the junkyards.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. It's that shit.
Bro,
I think it's weird shit going on, man.
between that and the carpet cleaning videos, my nigga. Bro, I could look at that shit all day, bro.
No, also
It's another one where they clean horse hooves.
yeah, those two. But no, I tell you another one that get me. Like they'll take a car that's like been like in like a fucked up garage like forever, and then they clean that motherfucker. Yo.
Oh, where they take everything out of it and spray it out and all that.
Yeah, man, I be on it. I don't know why. It's captivating for some odd reason.
That one, and it's another one where it's a dude. He take like random pieces of metal. He just find metal everywhere, and then like he'll find it, and like say it be like old and rusted or whatever. He'll get all the rust off of it till he get like down to the metal part, melt that shit down, make swords out of it.
Yo, that's crazy. I ain't seen one of those yet.
Hey, fire.
Yeah, but nah, man, like I feel like that there is like this secret society, man, that's going on like right in front of our eyes, to where there are people who really clean up these bodies, man, which is crazy. And I think the plot twist in this movie is, first of all, the plot is hold on, let me lead it up right quick. So after they finally get somewhat on the same page, because they still bickering and back and forth, like little stupid shit, like where, okay, so he's like trying to get the body like off the ground. So what he does is he started getting like all this tape, laying this tape down. And so what he does is he has like a sheet, and he pulls the sheet, and it perfectly, the tape wrap around the tarp, and so he got him in the tarp.
Perfection.
Fire, right?
Yeah.
And so and Brad Pitt trying to act like he wasn't watching, but he really was watching.
Yeah.
And so then he goes and get one of those carrier things that you get at the hotel. And so he pulls it up. So he pull it up on the thing or whatever. So he was like, all right, so just like you got a body on a tarp. He was like, I'm not finished. So then they go get one of those suit joints. You know what I'm saying? The thing that you like is like you would have a suit hanging up. And so they're going down the hallway. Brad Pitt goes through the door and let the door shut off.
Petty, bro.
So he got to push the door open and shit. So they go down to the garage. So he goes to go get his car and shit. And Brad Pitt was like, he's like, I got the key fob, because he get the thing that holds the arm thing up. He put a cone in it. He's like, I got a key fob. So he goes and get his car. You know what I'm saying? Get back in the car, playing Sade Smooth Operator and shit. So he comes back. He drives the car back to the parking garage, and the arm is down. And so Brad Pitt, when he turned it in, he was like, I got a key fob. So then he has to run up, and he sees that he let the arm go down, and then he fucking opens it up with the key fob, right? I'm talking about, these two dudes is children. So then he drives down there, park the car, he gets the thing, rolls it up into the car, the body perfectly falls into the car. And so then they slam the trunk, and this security guy's like, yo, everything good? Yeah, everything good. So they sitting there arguing. Come to find out, man, the fucking dude opened the trunk. This dude ain't even fucking dead.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit was crazy, bro. Because here I'm sitting there watching that shit. Out of all the shit that got, first off, they doing all of that to the security guard. They done cut the little feed, the wires to the feed for the security guard. So I'm thinking, all right, they good. Security guard walk off, they doing all this shit, bro. They sitting there talking. The security guard come back. He look. This nigga opened them up. First off, how the fuck do he keep opening the trunks?
Well, apparently there's like a thing in the trunk that you can
The little latch.
pull. Yeah, it's like a little latch.
Okay,
It's supposed to be a little
I'm
latch.
sitting here
in there.
like, how the fuck this nigga? Every trunk he in, he open. I'm like, all right, because okay, I'm gonna tell you what I thought. I thought that. Well, I'll wait till we get to that part. I'll wait till we get to that part because we got a long way to go. So, yeah, I did like that part though. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the whole plot twist of everything.
Hold on. I skipped the part because there was a plot twist before that.
Yeah.
So while George Clooney, and the reason I'm calling them their names, y'all, if you look at the IMDb, George Clooney's Margaret, he's Margaret's guy, and Brad Pitt is Pam's guy. So anyway, so George Clooney getting the body together, and then Brad Pitt says, "Oh shit!" And he's like, "What?" He comes over there. There's a book bag with about 6 bricks in that bad boy.
Right.
So they're like, "Hey, this dude is like a drug carrier, and whoever wants these drugs for him. So we're gonna have to somehow figure out like who these drugs belong to, because they called Pam on the phone, and Pam is like, yeah, y'all got to figure this out. So y'all gonna have to work together, try to figure out who drugs they are and return them to him." And so that's like the first plot twist. And then when the kid wakes up, then they figure, oh, well, now we can ask this kid, you know, who these drugs belong to, who you supposed to drop them off to, and all this shit. But the only issue is my man started taking off in his tighty whities, running all through the city in socks and tighty whities, bro. High off of whatever the fuck he was high off on.
Crazy. First off, it's snowing.
Yeah.
It's cold as ice. My man is moving through that city, bro. He is moving through that city.
And then, when he woke up, they knocked him out. And so then the whole back and forth between them two is they're placing blame on each other. Like, man, you didn't check to see if he was dead. He was like, yeah, I checked this. He was like, I'm a professional. He didn't have a pulse. He was like, well, obviously he's alive and all this type shit. So they sitting there. So George Clooney calls his guy. Guy don't answer. So then Brad Pitt calls the guy. They don't answer. So he was like, yo, drive over here, boom, boom, boom. I go, ring the bell, see if I can get my guy. Rings the bell. A woman comes out. George Clooney's looking from afar, walks up. He know who she is. So now they sitting there really pissed because they thought that they were the only person that worked for this person.
Right.
I guess they really thought that they was the only one that did what they did. Kind of find out they work for the same person. Yep. And so she works at this place. So she I'm guessing she gave the dude adrenaline. But before she gave him the adrenaline, she was like, oh man, like he don't really have a pulse. And then George Clooney kind of looks at him, you know what I'm saying? Like all proud of himself. He's like, I tried to tell you he didn't have a pulse. It was just that little bitty shit that they was doing back and forth to each other. That shit was funny to me. It had me cracking up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the whole interaction was funny as hell because they you know what I'm saying, like their whole job is to be secretive. You know what I mean? Their whole job is for people not to know what they're doing and what it is that they do. So both of them, you know what I'm saying, having that profession and then being around each other and trying to hide their techniques, or you know what I'm saying, like not give each other enough information, you know what I'm saying, so he don't have the one up on him or whatever. That made the movie everything.
Yeah, I felt that I can't think of two other like white gentlemen to pull this off. Because the thing is, not in this way. Because I also think it helps that they're not comedians. I think if you put comedians in it, I think it makes it different. I don't think it's the same movie, and I don't think the interactions are as funny as these interactions are. So as I was saying, she gives the dude, had to be adrenaline. He takes off running in tighty whities and socks. So they're going all through the city trying to get the dude. So they finally get him. And so then he's like, yo, he goes to tell them the story. It was like, yo, tell us what happened. They went into this fucking roach infested fucking hotel room.
No, wait. Before you get there, one of the funniest parts of this movie is they chasing them around and shit. And George Clooney is chasing them in the car. And Brad Pitt went ahead and started chasing them on foot. They get in the alley and he taking off. You know what I'm saying? And he about to come out of he comes out of the little door or whatever. Mm-hmm. George Clooney is coming down the alley. And dude runs into the alley. He looks and sees the car coming and freezes. So George Clooney try to hit the brakes. You know what I'm saying? It's raining, it's snowing, it's cold. So everything's slippery. So he hit the brakes, slide. Dude jumps. Get hit by the car, does like the greatest somersault ever in the world. Brad Pitt comes out right on time to see the whole thing. He watching it. Dude, finally he lands on his feet. He looks up, he looks at the car, looks at Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt goes, that shit. I was like, yeah, I felt them. Because if you can imagine yourself seeing that in that moment, like, this motherfucker just landed on his feet, unfazed.
Yeah.
Unfazed. No limp, no nothing. I was like, okay, that was a good scene. That shit was funny as fuck. And then like the slow-mo, and you can see like the rain droplets and all that. Yeah, that was good. I like that they added that in there.
Yeah, the cinematography was cool as hell on that part. And so they take him to this roast-infested hotel, and he's like, all right, tell us what happened. And he was like, can I get some water? So he go get some water. He was like, all right. So I woke up this morning. They was like, wait a minute, man. It was like, you gotta start from the morning. And so he goes to tell them the story, and like, so they pissed at the dude. So they go out in the hallway and they trying to figure out like how they gonna interrogate him and all this type of shit. So then they bust back in the room and grab chairs and stools and shit and scare the shit out of him. And so he's like, yo, man, he's like, basically, like, I'm friends with this one guy. Did the guy grandma die?
No, Diego's mom died.
Mom died. His mom died.
That shit was funny as fuck too, bro. When he actually started getting on the rant, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, so his friend mom died, so he's just doing the run for him or whatever, and he's talking about how, you know what I'm saying, he was at the hotel and all these girls is feeling him and girls don't never be feeling me, and all the girls are feeling me, I'm the man, and then this old lady come up on me asking me, do I want to go to a room? I'm like, yeah. So anyway, so it's like this is a movie where it's like the keep thinking. Because it's like now he's like, yo, I'm supposed to get a page, but I got to go to this place to get the pager. Mm-hmm. Come to find out the place to go get the pager, they both know the guy that owns the bar, I guess, and he was having his daughter's fucking was that a birthday party?
That was a wedding.
It was a wedding, having his daughter's wedding and shit. These motherfuckers pull guns out and all this type of shit. Yo, man, I'm like, yo. This movie is like, which I think that this is the only movies that are good. Like anytime that there is a plan in place, nothing but chaos happens. Mm-hmm. Nothing goes the way it's supposed to go. And that's exactly what this movie did. It's like every time, it's like the issues and problems got bigger and bigger and bigger, which I liked. Because it was like, first, we got a dead body, clean up the dead body. Oh shit. We find all these bricks. Now we got to take the bricks back to who they belong to. We put dude in the trunk. Motherfucker ain't dead. He wakes up. And then we got to ask him, all right, so who drugs are these? I don't know, but I'm supposed to get a pager. This is where I'm supposed to go get the pager. You go get the pager. This is the dude that know both of y'all. And like y'all sitting here guns out. It's I was watching this shit and I was like, you know what? I don't know why Joe said that. I was entertained during this movie.
I
don't know why they
think he
didn't like
watched
it.
though. I don't know if he watched it though.
So he was just saying that he just felt that
I think
just
he
get
was just
them out
saying
of
just
here.
based off the fact that it was Clooney and Brad Pitt together. That you know what I'm saying? Because the way that they explained it too, it wasn't really a good explanation.
Yeah, I guess when you say it like that, we said it because I think Melissa brought it up, right?
Yeah,
I
she
think
liked
she
it.
said she seen
She
it.
said it was
Yeah,
good, which she wasn't wrong because this was a great movie. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you got, you know what I'm saying, these two guys whose job it is to pretty much, you know what I'm saying, put everything together and make sure everything is, you know, quote unquote normal,
yeah,
going through everything that they had to go through, bro. And this was just one, this was supposed to be a simple job. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And to get through, you know what I'm saying, all of this, they get down there and the next thing you know, all of this shit happens. Just like, bro, this is it's way too much shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like them dealing with Dimitri, them getting the pager, you know what I'm saying, the kid getting kicked out, then you know, Dimitri sees both of them. Now they gotta come up with a plan that way Dimitri don't, you know, get suspicious. Then the whole time though, George Clooney is suspicious of all this shit. He
yeah.
knows something is off. He think it. Well, we see that he is, but I think that Brad Pitt was too. And I think that's what Brad Pitt's real issue was when they was in that hotel.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
kind
saying?
of.
I think
Yeah,
it was the fact that like we in this little seedy ass hotel, like bro, something ain't right about this shit. Cause why the fuck would he have drugs? Why would he be dealing with Lagrange? Why would he? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is he compared to? I mean, who is he? How is he connected to all this shit? And we don't really know. Like, something is off about that shit. And I thought it was a great way to put all of this together like that.
I think so as well. And then to think that because Brad Pitt was watching, you know what I'm saying, the shit go down. So he was the first one to know, like, yo, I'm not the only one who does this shit. Because he's watching George. Because George Clooney thinking he's the only, at least the only dude in the city that's at least doing this type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like you said, they go there. And so then they end up leaving there. And they're just waiting on the page and shit. And so they sitting there conversating with each other, like really trying to like figure this shit out, because that's when they started piecing shit together. When the dude went to the bathroom after that, he was sitting there eating and shit, and he went to the bathroom, and so like they got up on each other and they started saying like, yo, well, there's no way that this can happen without this, and you know, blase. So they kind of put this shit together, you know, waiting on the page and shit.
Right.
So they were trying to figure out like how they was gonna, you know, return the drugs. Well, come to find out, the whole thing about when they did get the page, they gonna send the dude in, but the thing is, they were supposed to kill the dude.
Yeah, yeah.
But then, like in all movies, even though they only been with the dude for about, I don't know, 4-5 hours, now you got feelings for him. You don't want to kill him.
I don't think it was that. I think it wasn't necessarily the feelings thing for him. I think it was they knew something was fishy about this shit. And I think with the job that they did, because you know what I'm saying, technically they don't necessarily kill people. They get rid of dead bodies and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have to, you'll kill them. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that's not really what they do. And with this situation, because the whole time he looking at this kid like, bro, how the fuck did this kid get mixed up in this? Something about this shit ain't right. That's George Clooney's whole thing in this. So he looking at this like, yeah, we could kill him, but even still, like, something about this shit don't seem right. I don't think this is the move. And I think that, well, we end up finding out that later they realize that if the kid dies, then something else is up behind all this. And I think that's what Brad Pitt realized too. That's why he ended up shooting one of the bricks of the cocaine.
Yeah.
Because it was like, yeah, you know, we got to make it look more realistic. But then he thought about it like, pal, okay, it's a tracker in there, because how else would they find us?
Yeah. Because they were sitting out there like when the kid went in, they started getting shot at outside in the BMW and shit. And they was like, well, damn, how the fuck did they know that we was here?
Right.
And so then they realized, but now George Clooney did check that little bear thing that the dude had on his book bag. He thought a tracker was in that.
That's what he said. Yeah, he said could be a tracker in it. And then Brad Pitt kind of looked at him like, man, are you fucking serious? But George Clooney was right the whole time.
He was right the whole time. Just checked the wrong thing.
Yep.
So that's and that's another thing that's kind of like shady about like even being in that world, bro. Like it's got to be scary. Like even that's the one thing that always scared me about like just finding like I always like saying I've been working for FedEx for a long time, so like when I be out in the country, I be looking out to the right, and like my whole thing was always like, man, I'm just hoping that one day, but I just look out to the right, man, and I just see a duffel bag or something, and just go open up that duffel bag, man, and it just be, you know what I'm saying, about $500K in there or some shit. And my thing that always got me, No Country for Old Men, it was a fucking tracker in that money, man, and like everywhere Noella would go, but he's like, damn, man, this dude keep finding me. Like, man, why does he keep finding me everywhere I go? There's a fucking tracker in the damn money.
People are stupid. First off, you never take the whole duffel bag, man. You don't take the bag, you take the money out the bag. That's obvious.
Yeah, but you also got to check the money because see what they did, because in that movie he had to flip through, and then they seen that they cut a whole like it was like 100s on the outside, and then it was ones, and they cut the ones and put a tracker inside of that. So
absolutely,
it's like in that business, because my whole thing is like if I was to ever get, which I wouldn't, but ever get involved in some shit like that, it's like, all right, why if you feel, especially if you got hit on the lip once before, it's like, look, I want my money, but I also want my drugs back. So it's like, I'm gonna pay you, I'm gonna put a tracker in the drugs, and I'm gonna go get my drugs back, and I'm gonna do the same shit to somebody else until I get a come up. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's the hustle.
Yeah, I mean that's the hustle. Like you have that same brick, you give it to about 5 people.
You done sold the same brick about 32 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, me, man, I'm one of those people that, like, stuff like that is always for like too good to be true. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just so happen to stumble across a duffel bag full of money, I'm already a suspicious dude. So I'm gonna take like a little bit of money out of there, but I'm gonna leave the rest of that money there. I'm gonna take as much as I can carry. But that bag and the rest of that money is staying there. I'm not taking no bag with me. Because you don't know what that bag got on it.
Yeah, because you already feeling like, somebody knows what that bag is. Like if somebody do it, they're either coming back for it or they got a tracker in it. It's either they threw it out knowing where they threw it out at, or they have a tracker in it. Like you're not just gonna find a whole bunch of money in. Well, I'm lying. Because I seen some shit on social media where they were talking about the stupidest person in the world was somebody bought a couch, bro. And the couch had like fucking like 100,000 in it. And they called the news and said, I bought a couch and it had $100,000 stuffed in the couch. And it was like, and you called the authorities in the news?
So they could put it on there so the people could come find you?
Yo, I'm like, come on, bro.
Never.
Come on.
Let me buy a car from the auction and there's $1 million in that car.
Hey, but he gonna be like Chris Tucker, in Money Talk.
tell you who you won't be seeing.
Had the diamonds in it.
Tell you who you won't be seeing no more. This podcast is gonna go on a 6-month hiatus. I know that much. I can tell you that right now. If y'all don't hear from us in the next, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, somebody found some money.
Yo, that is hilarious. The 6 months hiatus. Oh,
I'm out of there, bro. I'm telling you, I'm out of there because there's no way, bro. But for even like with him, when he, you know what I'm saying, Diego asked him to go make the drop. First off, that's not how drug deals work, sir.
No, not at all.
Diego asking you to go make a drop because his mom died Nah, bro, forget that.
Nah.
Nah, I'm sorry, Diego. You know what I'm saying? We cool and all, but you know, I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm not doing that. That's that.
Because
If I first off, you think they gonna give me the money?
exactly when they never seen you before, ever
Come
seen you
on,
before.
come on, bro. And
I
I'm
mean,
getting killed. So that off rip because I'm an unknown figure in this.
yeah, I mean, any movie that you ever watch, even when you think about something like In Too Deep, you know what I'm saying? The one time he showed up with Jay, he was like, "Yo, where's Cisco?" You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Well, Frisco, and he was like, "Man, Frisco old news." Like, "What you new news?" And like, "Man, are you a cop?" Like,
Right.
it's like drug dealers don't like seeing new people, bro. Like,
Yeah,
they get
'cause
used to somebody.
it's too suspicious. Who are you and where did you come from?
Then, oh, what? Now, don't get me wrong. He did look young, but then you're gonna send a like a blonde brown like white dude.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, come on, man. At least in like another, you know what I'm saying? Like someone of your heritage, because it sounded like the dude was at least of some kind of, you know what I'm saying,
I don't
Hispanic.
think he was. I don't think he was. I just think his name was just Diego because everybody around him was like Croatian and shit.
True, true. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I wasn't trying to be racist, but I was just like, yo, I mean, Diego, he's probably Hispanic. And it's like,
Probably.
is your, I just sit in the,
It's a good bet.
but it's like send another dude. I don't know, man. Like, yeah. And I think that's why they also knew like something is up. Like something just don't smells right in this whole situation.
Exactly. But see,
And then,
okay. So now that we get into it,
okay,
when they got to the warehouse, right, and they were sitting outside and they was getting shot at, and the dudes was walking out and like bleeding and shit. I thought that the kid, was like an assassin or some shit like that. That's where my mind was going. Cause I'm like, this would be a great spin on this whole thing if this nigga just so happened to be like an assassin or some shit, and he used them as like cover. That shit would be that would have been amazing.
well, I never thought that,
Yeah,
but I was for sure that kid was dead, and then all of a sudden he pops out of a fucking trunk. And
crazy.
like my thing is like, okay, how did he even get in a trunk?
Right.
Now they didn't show us what happened on the inside. We just saw a whole bunch of dead bodies just laying on the ground. Which I'm sitting here like, okay, how I don't know. I don't know. But it was meant for him to survive, so he found a way to get into a trunk in the damn warehouse with a whole bunch of limousines and shit. And so, like I was mentioning earlier, they were supposed to like they made a plan of like, yo, we gotta shoot and kill the kid. And so they're both looking at each other, and like you mentioned, they're not quote unquote killers. That's not really like what they do for the most part. Like, now don't get me wrong, they handled themselves well outside, but those people start shooting at them and trying to kill them. That's just survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that it's like, you know, they don't necessarily like have like marks. Like that's not like what they do. Like they're really there to clean, but if some shit go down, they could defend themselves.
Right.
So, like you mentioned, didn't shoot the kid, didn't want to kill the kid. But I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised that they took the kid home. Because it's like this is a job where, you know what I'm saying, you are anonymous. Nobody knows who you are, nobody knows your name. You know what I'm saying? You in a job where, you know, you try to fit in like if you seen George Clooney just walk into a fucking bar, you don't think nothing of it. I mean, you probably would think, you know, he's some kind of businessman or something like that, whatever. But just to know, now they never said their names, granted, but it's just like you would think that, like, and they told the kid, don't say nothing. This night never happened. You never met me. But it's like, do you trust them enough not to tell them? Now, what I want to ask you is, what do you think that conversation went like with the dad? Because they wanted to talk to his dad. What do you think that conversation was? Because they didn't show us that conversation.
They definitely told him that, you know what I'm saying, if anybody finds out what happened, we'll kill you and your son.
Yeah.
They told the boy that without an issue. We'll flip a coin and we're gonna figure out who's gonna kill you and then who's gonna kill your dad.
So yeah, because the dad kind of came out, looked at him like, that's interesting. But
it was weird
so,
too. That nigga was a Frank Sinatra super. That was crazy.
Hey, but this motherfucker had everything Frank Sinatra in that motherfucker.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was super weird. Very weird. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Blue Eyes. So they go and they have some breakfast. And so then they start putting the shit together. And so while they are putting everything together, because I think that's all they needed was some time to really sit down, eat, and be able to think. So then they start putting shit together. Then come to find out, then they start seeing these people showing up with guns. And they was like, yo, the whole time the target was us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we was set up like throughout this whole fucking shit. Which I don't know how. Maybe you know like how the kid ties into it, how the drugs and everything tie into it. Like I don't know if that was a coincidence.
No, that was the whole plan. Because the kid was the mark to get them there. And then him surviving it, I think, was what messed everything up. Because the kid was expendable. You know what I'm saying? Their whole thing was just to get to them, end up finding the drugs, taking it back to whoever was supposed to have the drugs, and then, you know what I'm saying, get killed in the process.
So Margaret was in on it.
No, I don't think Margaret was in on it.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, but think about it. Why would she just pick this random kid, be like, hey, let me bring you to my room?
Yeah, that's weird too. I mean, that part I don't know. Well, I think she was really doing something freaky deaky. If we really want to be honest, she was a politician, and that's what they do.
I mean, this is true. This is true because I was just trying to put it together. Like, how would they know that they would get their hands on the drugs and to return them?
Because that's their job. They gotta search the place from top to bottom. So, say if Brad Pitt was to never get there, once George Clooney got done with the body, he got to go back up to the room and clean everything up.
So, then they have to be Pam then.
I think everybody was in on it. And then it's the dude. Remember, they said they worked for the same dude.
Yeah, the dude that the wedding that they crashed.
I don't think it was him.
Okay. Because I knew he knew both of them.
Yeah, I think it's somebody else. Whoever that they work for, because remember he said something like, oh, we got the same guy. Because remember they had the same lady.
Yep.
And they got the same guy who basically like get him all the shit. That's like they management or whatever. So pretty much had the same guy. I think he was the one that was trying to get them out of here.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Which I mean, look, we at least that part of the formula we've seen a whole bunch of times. I mean, you know, even Mr. and Mrs. Smith, like, okay, they're both assassins, and then they both become targets of each other. It's like
same thing, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
This time it's cleaners instead of assassins.
Yeah. So it's not nothing. And this is something that I wanted to bring up to you. Like, now I think we're getting to a point where, I mean, you think about the movie industry, like there have been, you know, movies for, you know, for a century, right? For the most part, almost everything has been done. Now it's all about execution and like, I think it's about execution and having the right actor do the role. This is why I said I appreciate, you know, some of the things that Jordan Peele done, because when you look at something like Get Out, I never really seen that premise before.
Right.
Not the way that he executed it. We've had clone movies before, but not like the way he did it in Us.
Right.
So I guess what I'm saying is like, do you feel that when it comes to new ideas, that it's more about, okay, we just got to try to out execute the last person who done it? Because I think that's why we're getting remakes.
I don't know about out execute. I think it's more so just like, I love this movie, but if I had a chance to make it, this is what I do.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, trying to think. Yeah. I guess I just keep it at that. Yeah, like it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you love the movie, you love the premise, you love everything about it. But instead of, you know, like instead of Michael Myers killing this guy, I would have had him do this instead. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just add their own little spin and twist on it. And then you also got to remember too, like, they're not necessarily making the movie. Well, most of them not. They're not necessarily remaking the movie. I think they're just taking the concept of it, because it, like, usually these are good concepts that they take. So it's like they take the concept of it, and once they take that concept, they try to make their own story out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it just like, you know, we getting to the point where like we just seeing like a lot of the same shit being recycled. And it's like people are putting their own touch on something that we've already seen anyway. And it's just like, all right, I got to find a way to make this as entertaining as the same way somebody else did.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, like you were mentioning earlier, we got another Fantastic Four coming.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, how y'all going to make this team better than the last team or the team before then? And you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, to me, I'm just seeing like a lot of stuff being recycled. Like, because when I was watching this, it's like, wow, what a surprise. Like the management want them dead.
Right.
It's like we've seen this so many times, but I still like the way that George Clooney and Brad Pitt executed this movie throughout.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Yeah. I was just curious. That was just something I wanted to bring up on the pod. Because I think that's why we get so many remakes and, you know what I'm saying, recycling the same stuff over and over and over again. Yeah. But at the same time, this industry is out to make money.
Yeah, so they're like, yo. Also, I think it's more so a thing, just do what works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If something has been done 6 or 7 times, cool. You just got to make the better version, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's where we at, man. I just think that there's not much more that can really be made.
That's true. But I think that's why, and going back to Marvel, I think that's why Marvel was so successful in what they were doing, because the movies that they were making were in the style of movies that you didn't expect, right? Like they were saying how like X-Men Wolverine Origins, I mean not X-Men Wolverine Origins, but the Wolverine. If you ever seen the Wolverine, like the Wolverine is made,
the one when he was in Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's made in the style of like an older kung fu movie. You know what I'm saying? Like they were saying like how with the other Marvel movies, like I forgot which one it was, but like one of them was supposed to be made like a Western. The other one is like Guardians of the Galaxy is like sci-fi. And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like none of them are just like strictly action-based movies. All of them have elements of other genres incorporated in it. So yeah, I think if you could find a way to be creative like that, then yeah, it don't even matter how many times you make the film if it's a different film every time.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right, man, let's get into the Fire Flames, bro.
Let's do it.
Yoga Fire. Yoga Flame.
What you giving it?
I mean, look, man, the cast, short cast, not many people. Really only 2 key players, pretty much in this movie. 2 A-listers. I'm probably gonna go. I watched it 2 times. I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5. For what it was. I think the performances are more than a 3.5, but it's also like when I think about it, like, all right, so I watched it twice. Will I go back? I'm not sure if I would. So I'm gonna go 3.5.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. This has a nice it has a good replay value to it. It's not one of those one and dones for me. I can see myself watching this again sometime in the future. Clooney and Brad Pitt did a great job. Their chemistry on screen together was amazing. The kid did a great job too. I'm gonna go 3.5. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3.5 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with that. All right, let's get into coming soon.
Let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All right, man, we back at it again one more time, man. We Apple TV Plus. We eating them up right now, man. Hey, they got the hottest content out right now, man. Salute to Apple TV. We are doing a film called The Gorge. It just came out this year.
This Friday. It just came
This
out.
Friday. Okay. Yeah.
Well, this
released-
past Friday when y'all listen to this.
Yeah, released this past Friday. So you guys get a chance, go check it out, go watch it. You know what I'm saying? Hit us up on the socials, let us know what you thought, and then you can catch up with us on the next episode and hear what we thought as well. If you enjoyed this episode, if you didn't enjoy this episode, if you too was shocked at how fast this kid was running around in socks and drawers in the middle of the winter, then hit us up and let us know on socials. Personally at Schools Bronson. You can catch me on Twitter. I got a link tree in the bio. You can follow me everywhere else there.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. Last episode is Night Agent. So go check that out. Night Agent season 2, I might add. Let's go check that out on all major platforms. Working on something new, so be on the lookout for that. And that's all I got.
Cool, man. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. Without you, there could be no us. And until the next time, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.